Welcome to another edition of Blathercast Comics, a YouTube show about comic books, pop culture, and other general stuff. I'm John.
And I'm Dave.
So we're
You
here
said,
today.
said stuff.
I did say stuff.
Uh,
Should I just say other general bullshit like we used to back in the old days?
we used to, yeah.
I didn't know if we should say that or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Could we swear on YouTube? I mean, we could swear, but not that much, right?
We do have the "this isn't kids content" thing on our channel settings.
Oh, okay.
So I think we can say whatever the fuck we want.
No.
I think.
I try not to swear so much, I guess.
We've done a pretty good job of not swearing, but
you know what it is, a swear word?
What's that?
Or maybe swear words when you put them together. Bleeding cool. That is a swear word. That's a swear word in the comic industry.
Those guys are out of their minds.
Aren't they insane? So, like, today was it yesterday? I saw that maybe you commented on something, but I didn't read it all. But Bleeding Cool wrote this article about Dan Jurgens, the writer right now of Action Comics, who's been with like DC since like before I was born, and about him sending like 2 tweets about like sitting next to a larger person on the airline, and like, hey man, his gut was like spilling over into my chair, and I'm uncomfortable because this guy is too big for the seat. Like, pay for 2 seats, or get a little bit into shape, control your weight. And Bleeding Cool write this like article about how he doesn't have empathy and how it's not very superhero like. And I can't imagine Superman saying something like that. And I'm just like, he's uncomfortable in a seat that he paid good money for because someone else doesn't care. Like, they didn't think about his feelings either, about like, hey, I'm a big guy and I know I can't sit in the seat, and this is the way the airlines are, but I don't care. I know I'm going to be like right on top of somebody else. I don't know. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, it's not fair to the guy sitting next to you to lose half of his seat because you're a fat fuck. It's just not cool. And I mean, I've got bigger and bigger over time myself, and I put on a lot of weight. And I went on a flight and needed one of the extender things. Now, I wasn't taking up, my ass isn't that big. Like, it was, I have the really gross belly. You know what I mean? It's not, so I'm not taking up, it's all in the front. If you get what I'm saying, it's not,
right.
It's not on the sides, So
right.
I'm not taking up the other seats, so I wouldn't have needed to buy two seats. But if you're taking up 2 seats, you should fucking have to pay for 2 seats. And I was so embarrassed by needing the extender. That was one of the things that was like, man, I need to change my diet and start losing weight because this is embarrassing. Same thing with, I heard a story, I read a story the other day about this lady who's suing Disney World because she couldn't couldn't buckle in the rides, so she couldn't ride some of the rides because she was so fat that it wouldn't buckle. And that happened to me on the kids' rides at Darien Lake, and there were certain ones where it's like, if your kid's in this certain height, they can only ride with an adult supervision. And it's like, here's my kid and he can't ride a ride because dad's fat ass. Like, that's embarrassing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that sucks, man.
So, and that's just, that there is like a safety thing. You can't make these things so big.
Yeah.
For a fat guy when you're trying to secure a
A
2-year-old
little,
next to him, you know.
right? A little guy, yeah.
So
Like I guess I could say like I get like airplane seats are kind of uncomfortable to begin with, and I know they're kind of small. I'm not a big person. I'm pretty small, medium sized guy, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, I could see that they're uncomfortable, and I get it. Like maybe you are a little bit bigger and not like overly obese, you know, and you'd feel uncomfortable in the airplane seat. But like if you're literally like taking up half someone else's seat or you're spilling over into someone else's seat, like I don't know what to tell you. By the second seat, man. Why should I feel uncomfortable because you're so big? I don't know.
yeah, like airplanes aren't comfortable anyways. Why should I
No,
have to put up with this uh, sweaty piece of shit next to me? You know, with this fat sweat all sweating on me.
so I guess like what I'm saying is with Bleeding Cool and how stupid this article is, they took like two tweets and they wrote this stupid piece about it. And I didn't really, I don't really want to talk about too much about Twitter drama or all that with this channel, but there's so much stuff that I see probably on a daily basis from pros and creators talking poorly to fans, talking poorly to each other, just calling people names. And if you disagree with them politically, you're, an alt-right Nazi or whatever. Bleeding Cool has chosen not to make any articles or stories about any of those things. But if someone is a conservative or maybe just doesn't state their political stance, it seems like they want to write an article about it. They've done it with Ethan Van Sciver. They've done it with John Malin. They're doing it with Dan Jurgens now. It's a little ridiculous. You could see how pretty much unethical they are and how a lot of times they make themselves part of the story. They claim not to be journalists, but I think like if you say you're a reporter or a journalist, you have to have some sort of morals or ethics in that, or don't write your dumb, stupid website. I don't know what to tell you. The website's not helping the industry. Nobody ever comes into my store and says, "Did you read that awesome Bleeding Cool article?" No one even mentions your website ever. It's only like we see it on social media because a lot of us just make fun of it. Like that's it. It's a joke. So that's kind of all I have to say. It's not helping anything. It's not shedding a light on anything. It's not helping sell anything. It's not doing anything really. It's just kind of hurting the industry, if anything.
Yeah, we should probably start writing articles and trying to do interviews and stuff and post them on our website.
Yeah, maybe. It's a
I
lot
mean,
of. We both have full-time jobs. It's a
I
lot of
know,
work.
but an article or two, or invite people, other people who don't suck, to write.
Yeah, that's true.
It would be all right, just so there would be somebody out there who's not just crying all the time about non-issues.
Yeah, I mean, like, was this article really needed at all? Like, was there anything about this? Like, why? Because the guy was uncomfortable on a plane? Like, agree with them or don't agree with them. Was their article really need to be written? Like, it's just foolish to me. It's stupid. It's like, why don't you talk about, like, sales being down or the new comic coming out that's great or, whatever. Talk about whatever. But, like, I think this was just foolish and stupid and who cares? It's
Yeah,
just dumb.
I never use social media to complain about my day-to-day stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
I mean, I
which
do once in a while, like, hey, I can't sleep. Is anybody up?
yeah, I might do it in a joking manner, but like if I go on the face bag or Twitter, especially on Facebag, I see people are like, "Oh, I hate it when blah 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 at the grocery store," and it's like, yeah, I don't care. So
Yeah, I might say something funny, like I say, "Oh, there's a special place in hell for people to leave their shopping carts in the middle of the parking lot," and then that's pretty much it. Like,
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't go, "Hey, I broke my shoelace while I was tying my shoe today." A lot of times, though, especially on Facebook, not really so much on Twitter, because you're going to get a lot of, I follow a lot more people on Twitter than I do on Facebook. But on Facebook, I really do say, like, "Thanks for the play-by-play." Like, well, we have running commentary on your life. Oh, yep, you're going to the store today. Yep, that's great. Just kind of funny.
It it's kind of ridiculous. So I was looking through my Google activity the other day, right? And I get on there and I start looking through it. And on the one hand, I'm like, oh man, this is really cool. Like I was in Durham a couple weeks ago, and it like had all the places I went and like everything, everything I did on the maps part. And then it's like it shows every website I went to and what apps I used on my phone and like everything I did that had anything to do with the phone, including where I was when I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like looking through it and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then about 2 seconds later, I was like, delete all history. I was like, this is kind of creepy. Like, it's just messed up. But the thing is, if you turn location and stuff off, then a bunch of shit doesn't work.
Yep, that's very true.
So it's like, some of the apps, like you use an app for a restaurant or a pizza chain or a store or any of that, and you're like on your way home and maybe not on your way home, but you're at work and your wife's like, hey, could you pick this thing up? And you're like, oh, and you go on your phone and you're like, go to the website and order it to pick up on the way home. And it's nice that the thing just knows where you are, so it picks the right store. It's you lose all that if you turn off. It's like, hey, you can be tracked, or you can just have a phone that makes phone calls.
Yeah, those people from Bleeding Cool will be tracking us down soon. So let's talk about some comics.
Okay, if you want. Is that what the show's supposed to be about?
No, I mean, we talk about general bullshit.
Okay, I'm gonna go get some ice cream. What flavor's your favorite? I'm kidding. Let's move on.
Wait, didn't you use that joke the other day?
Did I?
I think so. Was that on the show? I don't remember. Anyway, we talk too much to each other, so then like when we do the show, we don't remember if we said it on the show or not. Brave and the Bold #2 by Liam Sharp, who's doing the art and the writing. This came out Wednesday. It's fantastic. I love this book. I think Liam Sharp's a really cool guy, and he always posts like all his great art on Twitter. He's a great person to follow. So if you haven't followed Liam Sharp on Twitter, check out his page or whatever and take a look. But Brave and the Bold #2 is basically there is in the last issue they brought Wonder Woman to basically conduct peace between these two factions that are fighting with each other in this realm. And Wonder Woman is there to try to be like, hey, we could all get along. And they're kind of going through like the history of these two groups. Like, well, you can't do this and you can't rule, and you're a punk ass or whatever. So she's trying to conduct a peace. In the meantime, on Earth in Gotham, Batman is there because the book is called The Brave and the Bold, Batman and Wonder Woman. So you're like, where's Batman been? Really wasn't too much into the first issue. But in this issue, he feels like he is in Gotham, and there's this magic, I don't know, maybe it was a mirage, but he calls it like a shared dream. that he is stuck in, and there's like all these fairies and demons going after him, and he thinks he's kind of like an hallucination, and he hears Alfred's voice, and Alfred kind of helps him pull through, so he gets out of it, and he kind of comes to the conclusion, hey, this is magic. So back in the realm, these two guys that are kind of the leaders of their little factions here and their little groups are really like fighting each other, and Wonder Woman is having like a hard time trying to get peace and stuff like that. Meanwhile, there is this other character who is in the Irish quarter of Gotham City, who is trying to get back to this magical land, and he like doesn't know how, and all of a sudden this portal opens, and he's like so happy to get back in there. And at the end of the book, we see that Batman is trying to figure out what's going on and why this is spilling over into Gotham City. And Wonder Woman appears and is like, hey, I need your help. God lies murdered, and can you help me? So that was kind of the issue of Brave and the Bold #2.
Is this the first time they've done a Brave and the Bold with Batman and Wonder Woman?
I think they've done, I think as a miniseries, because Brave and the Bold was basically Batman team up, back in the day when that first came out. So it was Batman, and you just team him up with anybody. So
okay.
I know.
I thought it was always Superman.
No, that's DC Comics Presents was like Superman team up.
No, I thought Brave and the Bold was. It doesn't matter. You would know better
Brave
than
and
me.
You thought Brave and the Bold was always Batman and Superman?
Yeah.
No, that's World's Finest.
Okay.
Yeah. So like World's Finest.
I stand corrected. I have a World's Finest. I think it's number 12 or something.
Yeah. So it's like World's Finest is Batman, Superman teaming up like all the time. And then like Brave and the Bold is Batman teaming up with whoever. And DC Comics Presents was Superman teaming up with whoever. Kind of like Marvel 2-in-1 was Thing teaming up with whoever. And what's the other one? Marvel Team Up is Spider-Man teaming up with people. One of those things. They're like ongoings, but usually each issue is just like a self-contained story.
So have these any of these ghosts given Batman a black eye or anything?
They're like going after him and like grabbing his junk and stuff.
I see that on the cover. It's looks like they want to take him down.
Yeah, they want to beat him up for some reason. I don't know. It really hasn't been explained too much why it's spilling over into Gotham
but he probably fired all their dads. So they're mad about it now.
he fired them from like the Wayne Corp. Like, is that what it's called, or is it called Wayne Industries?
Yeah, so it's Wayne Industries, I think.
Fair enough.
Enterprises, Wayne Enterprises.
I thought it was Stark Enterprises. I'm getting my rich people screwed up.
You're fictional rich people. So he comes out and he's like, "Hey, I got this great idea." He's like, "We're going to stop selling whatever because it's really bad for the environment, and we're going to take a stand, and we're going to switch from using this unsafe thing for the environment to using this safe thing." And it's like, since he has to retool the whole factory, he replaces everybody with robots. So all these people, all this is a bunch of people are pissed off because he was trying to save the environment.
Probably. Yeah, these people from the magical realm.
And they all lost their jobs from it.
And souls.
Right.
and then they come back. It's like these little fairy demon guys. Man,
Right.
it's that we solved the mystery. Liam Sharp follows me on Twitter, so he's going to be like, "You guys, ugh. No, stop, unfollowed."
Block, mute, delete.
Yeah.
All right.
So what did you want to talk about?
I don't know. I was going to talk about Jessica Jones a little bit. So it's not really fair to me for me to review season 2 because I can't seem to get past like the first 10 minutes of the second episode.
So 2 thumbs up. Pretty good, huh?
I haven't been enjoying it that much yet. I want to see what happens because I like the character and I'm interested in what happens. But the first episode was a doozy, and the second episode, I've tried to watch it several times, and about 10 minutes in, for whatever reason, I start looking at my phone, I start getting on Twitter or whatever, and I totally just don't watch it. It's just not holding my attention at all.
John, once you're watching something and the phone comes out, it's over. It's like, boom, it's done. I'm not into it. I'm not going to be into it. I could try, but as soon as like I get one little notification, I'm looking on my phone, you know I'm not interested in the movie or the show.
Right, because if I was, and I know this because I usually set the phone either on the counter or on the built-in next to the TV or on the coffee table. And if it dings and I like what I'm watching, I won't even look at the phone.
Right.
You know, but if I'm not that interested, I'll be like, maybe what's on my phone is more interesting. Nope, it's about on par, but I'm going to go with the phone anyways.
So Jessica Jones is about as interesting as a Bleeding Cool article. What are you saying?
Well, the other reason it's not fair to review it since I haven't really watched it. The other reason I'm going to keep going, and I will give a real review when I'm done. I have to trudge through it because I felt the same way about the last season until about halfway through, and then I really dug it. So maybe this one will pick up also.
I was struggling to get through season 1, like big time.
I don't know who did the direction on season 1, but I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they used a different female director for every episode this season.
Oh, yeah, sure, probably.
And
sounds right.
I don't have anything wrong with that, but I just wonder if they would have had different directors if it wouldn't be so terrible.
Yeah, you should probably hire on merit, not on gender. I don't know. You know.
It was just a thought, and I'm curious. I doubt that has anything to do with it. I'm sure all these people have done work that I've watched and loved. In fact, when this show is done, I'm going to look that up.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, maybe you'll find out that, you did watch something that they directed or wrote or whatever and you liked. It's very possible. Maybe they're just not set for Jessica Jones. I don't know.
Right.
Who knows?
Right. I mean, some people just shouldn't do horror movies.
No.
So what else do you got?
All right. So like my next book that I really liked this week was Thanos, number 17, which is, of course, like I love this book. Like the series has been great. I've talked about it many times. Donny Cates is the writer and Jeff Shaw is the artist. And I think both of them do a great job. This is about Silver Surfer, who was like referred to as the Fallen One, I believe. Who Silver Surfer is now wielding the Thor's hammer too. and he is going after old Thanos, and he's gonna like try to beat the crap out of him, kill him, put an end to his reign of terror here. And so there's this really really cool battle. Silver Surfer takes care of Ghost Rider of the future pretty quickly. Like there's this really cool scene where he hits him with a hammer, and there's bits and pieces and teeth falling out of the future Ghost Rider. And then Thanos kind of has Hulk was locked up like a dog, basically, and he unleashes Hulk on Silver Surfer. And then there's another big battle where Silver Surfer just pretty much takes care of him and then turns him back into Bruce Banner, who Bruce is like, please kill me. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm full of rage. This is not a good life. Please kill me. That's when younger Thanos shows up, and it's kind of distracts Silver Surfer in this moment while Bruce Banner is behind the Silver Surfer. Old Thanos strikes both Silver Surfer and Bruce Banner through the chest and basically kills them. So now there's really no one left to fight. So it's like young Thanos is talking to old Thanos like, hey, I helped you. We killed the Surfer. Time to send me home. But then he looks off into the distance and he sees Death dressed for a wedding.
So I have to ask.
Yes.
Can you guess what I'm going to ask?
No.
Did old Thanos and young Thanos,
yes,
did they make it?
No, they slept in separate rooms, separate beds, separate rooms. They did not watch each other change or anything like that. Not in this series. I mean, maybe off.
I mean, okay. Like, I wonder how it would be to, like, do the Eiffel Tower with yourself.
Would you want to go see your older self? Like, you from now want to see yourself, like, in 20 years from now? Would you want to go to the future to see what's going on with you?
No. I would want my older self to come back in the past and be like, dude, here's all the stuff you need to do right now so we're set forever.
Yeah. That's, probably.
It's not very helpful for your younger self to go see how things turn out.
Why? Sure it is, isn't it? You could, I mean, you
well,
still have to
I guess it's the same thing.
Okay. Would you want to meet up with your older self?
But I mean, if you think about it, it would only make sense if it was the older person going back to the younger person.
Well, I mean, you could go to the future and see how everything turns out, and he could tell you what's going on, and then you could come back to the present and change. You can you have the same conversation, right?
That's too paradoxical for me.
So if you come, I don't know.
So if you go, I mean, it's all paradoxical. Because if you go and change your own future, do you ever get the time machine in the first place?
Yeah.
So I guess it would have to be the younger person going to the future. Because the future hasn't happened yet, so it can change.
Or time is all happening all at once.
Yeah, it's probably just, like
it's just how we
that
think.
Goes into like a filtration system that recycles it back into itself. That's why humans keep doing the same stupid shit over and over again.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's like, man, this has gotten pretty shitty. Put it through the filter. Filters it all. It's nice and clean when it comes out. And they're like, put it back in the pool. And then it's like, man, somebody's got to do something because this pool just keeps getting full of shit.
This show is like a pool filter.
Yeah, an old one that's had a bunch of shit run through it.
Exactly. Oh, God.
Did you want to talk about Kill or Be Killed?
I don't know. How long we running? We're running long?
We're right at 30 minutes.
All right, that's a good time to stop then.
All right.
I'll talk about Kill or Be Killed next episode. It's a great series by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, and it's awesome. You should pick it up in trades.
That Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips done not good?
I know, seriously. It's like they put their name on it, and it's phenomenal. They're the best.
It has nothing to do with their names. It really has to do with the content of their character.
Oh.
Of their books,
everything they write and draw, do the art, they're awesome. Love their stuff. And yeah, I'll talk about it next week.
All right. So if anybody wants, they can follow me at Johnny Redbeard on Twitter. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button at the end of this video or on the thing. Hit the little notification thing so you know when we've produced another fantastic high quality YouTube video. And yeah,
and you can follow me at Second Prince. That's 2NDPRINTS. And yeah, like, subscribe. If you want to comment or if you have any suggestions for shows or topics or anything like that, let us know.
Groovy. Another issue
in the bag.